these days to think that you're going to be able to come on somebody's YouTube channel and watch a live pay-per-view fight. Like, it's just not going to work, you know, and it's not even along the lines of not being in common sense anymore, you know. And I must say that if you don't know how to watch a fight these days, you should be paying for the fights. But if you don't know how to watch the fight these days outside of YouTube, I don't know what to tell you, you know. But let's go ahead and get it out of the way. Man, how do you feel about this card? I've been enjoying it. Now, Rayo Venezuela got his shit pushed in by late step-in Edwin de los Santos. Fourth round, he got beat pretty bad, if we're being honest. He got beat pretty bad. You know, from the very opening bell, you just knew. Thank you for the super chat, Eddie. You're the man, T, says Eddie. $5 super chat. Thanks, bro. But, man, he got his ass beat. Abner Maris, I actually thought that he did enough to win that fight barely. But if you noticed, the second half of the fight, he pulled out a nice, shiny new bike. He was on that bike. You know, and that's what ended up being a draw between him and Miguel Flores for the second fight to open up the PBC on Fox pay-per-view card.
How dare you?
Third, you had Cruz put a boot in the ass of, and the main event, they're about to do their ring walks now. So we're going to be checking in between rounds, not every round. But, and in the chief support, Cruz knocked the shit out of, there's Deontay Wilder, who's returning October the 15th against Robert Helenius on PBC on Fox pay-per-view. And Eduardo Ramirez got his shit knocked off by Cruz, but that was kind of expected. But so far, the card has lived up to it. Prince Charles Martin opened up the fights on a YouTube PBC on Fox YouTube stream against a Devin Vargas. That video's on the channel. You had Ruiz defeat Mike Planea. He's 32 years old. It's time for him to start moving up, you know, and, you know, maybe they can try to build him up against look at this crowd, though. How many do you think are there? Like, that atmosphere is rocking. Even though I think the pay-per-view is probably going to flop a little bit. What else? Joey Spencer, you know, beat Kevin Sagado. I don't know what they're doing with Joey Spencer. He's still young. What is he, 22 years old? They're taking their time building him up. But it's like, bro, y'all got to start doing something, like, for real. But overall, I've been enjoying the card. Yeah, Rayo, you know, he's gonna, I mean, the good thing is he's still young, you know, so it's time, you know, he still has time to build up. They're doing the ring walks now. So I'm going to be scoring the card. I got my scoreboard here. I am going with Luis Ortiz because he, in my opinion, is the overall better boxer and technician than Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz can box, very fast hands, but Andy Ruiz really needs to be on the inside to really do his work. Let's turn it up. See what's going on.
As we await the fighters now in the entrance music, you can see Luis Ortiz had those great fights with Deontay Wilder.
But one thing I don't want to see is, if Luis Ortiz wins, I don't want to see Wilder Ortiz 3. Do you? How do you guys feel about that? How many of you think are there? I wonder if they're going to announce it. Mr. Spooner asks, who do you have winning, T-Street, Usyk or Fury? I got Fury. Not too, almost confidently, because he's too big. But I got Fury to beat Usyk. Yeah, this pay-per-view was $74.99. Y'all think they overcharged, but all of the pay-per-views are $74.99. Luis Ortiz is on his way to the ring. So, all right, I'm going to do a poll in the chat. Who do you have winning? Who wins? And I'm going to read the results throughout the course of this stream. I'm going to go Ruiz, decision. Ruiz, KO. They only give you 4 choices. Ortiz. Decision. And Ortiz KO. Or you can just put 1 in the chat. Just keep it simple. 1 in the chat for Andy Ruiz, 2 for Luis Ortiz. But I also put a poll in the chat as well, because I want to see who you guys have winning. Yeah, I think that Fury's too big, and he's got that jab because, you know, he'll be able to use that weight on Alexander Usyk. That's my opinion. You know, Usyk is very, very good, but he's not invincible at heavyweight. And I think Fury has just enough to be able to beat him. And yes, I won't be surprised if fucking well, one thing about Robert Helenius is he's a good boxer, but his chin is jelly. So if he gets knocked out by Wilder, it's probably going to be ugly. And he's a sparring partner. I'm really not a fan of fighters fighting sparring partners, you know? Like, I'm not a fan of that, especially on pay-per-view. For example, Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz is on his way to the ring. Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin fought on pay-per-view earlier this year for about $50. January the 1st, 2022. PBC on Fox pay-per-view. Luis Ortiz's second fight this year is against Andy Ruiz on pay-per-view, which we're watching right now. But then Charles Martin fought on a YouTube stream with nobody in the arena. So basically, you're telling us he shouldn't have been on pay-per-view in the first place. Here's Andy Ruiz on his way to the ring. This is live real time. Andy Ruiz came in at 268 pounds. That's what he weighed in when he had beat Anthony Joshua in the first fight. When he fought Chris Arreola last summer, he weighed in at 256. The heaviest he's been was against Anthony Joshua in that second fight when he came in at 283. Luis Ortiz is weighing the most he's ever weighed in at 245 pounds. Here, let me pull up all their stuff right now while we have it here. Luis Ortiz, 34-2 with 22 KOs. Luis Ortiz, 33-2 with 28 KOs. He's listed at 43 years old, but I think he's a lot older. Andy Ruiz is, how old is Andy Ruiz? He about 33, right? Let me go check real quick. 32. He turns 33 next week, September 11th. But yeah, overall, I'm glad the main event is here. I'm really interested in this fight. A lot of people were giving this fight shit, you know, but I was always like, yo, I think this is going to be a really good card, man. It's going to be a really good card. So let's see. Let's go look at the poll real quick to see who's got who. Okay, so far, 63 people have voted. 46% have Ruiz by KO. 28% Ruiz by decision. 16% Luis Ortiz by KO, and 9% Luis Ortiz by decision. Okay. I got Uncle Junior. I got the 53-year-old. How old do you have to be to get your discount at Denny's or at IHOP? Is it 55 or you got to be in your 60s? Let's turn it up.
Brought to you by TGB Promotions and sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can bet $1
no stubble, no nothing.
$100 instantly. Download the app.
I hope he took his blood pressure pills.
And get in on tonight's action.
By the way, take a time out, like the video, subscribe. Also, my Fight View 360 boxing podcast. It'll be great if you guys can help us get monetized. We're just a few downloads away. I don't care if you download any episode, just download, damn it. We're just a few downloads away from getting our podcast promoted and monetized. So it'd be great if you can download the Fight View 360 podcast, leave a follow and a rating. Yes, you can buy this pay-per-view here in the States on fight.tv. Well, it's here now. PBC on Fox pay-per-view for $74.99. Next month, October the 15th, is Robert Helenius and Deontay Wilder on PBC on Fox pay-per-view. Heavy rumors that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence are going to be announced like within the next couple of weeks. Now, I haven't been talking about that fight saying it's going to be announced. This is the first time I'm saying that, I think it's going to be announced. I haven't been talking that shit like everybody else, but it's looking like I'm thinking it's going to be announced. Henry Bosick says, "Hey T, you're welcome for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from a Saints fan. He's a lights out." Okay. Defensive back. Okay. All right. But yeah, it's time. So we're going to be scoring the card. We're going to be checking in with brief legal fair use highlights in between rounds. That's our niche here. That's what we do. We're pretty good at it. Obviously, this goes without saying, we can't show you the whole fight, and we have to be very, very careful with what clips, very careful and respectful with what clips we do show. But nonetheless, we'll be able to get you what you need. You see what I'm saying? And then next week is a big week. Ooh, I'm looking forward to Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. Then the week after that, Canelo versus Golovkin 3. We're going to be streaming during all of that. But hey, I say this all the time. I'm not doing it for my health. I will cut this shit off. Please leave a like. It's all you got to do is just click the like, or you can click dislike. But you should be doing something. I'm not doing this for my health. Or you can leave some super chat. You want to leave me some money? So you either like the video or you leave some money. Kinfolk. I do not like Thomas Taylor as the referee. All right, guys, here we go. Round 1. Let's turn it up a little bit. This is a 12-round fight. 12-round fight. In the Crypto.com arena. But I call it's the Staples Center. It's always going to be the Staples Center. Look at that dye job. He dyed that shit to the root. Did I tell you my theory about Luis Ortiz and why he don't grow no facial hair? It's because he don't want you to see all the gray stubble. That's how his age is going to be exposed. You notice you never see him with no stubble. You know how hard it is? Not hard, but like difficult it is to shave every day. And he shaved like he leaves nothing. He leaves nothing. All right, here we go. Round number 1. My man saying a prayer in the corner. All right, round number 1. Let's turn it up. I should start an OnlyFans? What am I going to show? All right, so far both fighters meeting in the middle of the ring. Luis Ortiz coming out with the jab. Much bigger, higher stance. Here's a little peek in of the stances. Andy Ruiz is very dangerous on the inside with quick combinations. Luis Ortiz, he can box, like actually box. And very impressive for his age. Okay, big combination from Andy Ruiz to start off. But this is what Luis Ortiz wants to do, is keep this space right here, right there. Andy Ruiz can't really operate at that space. Trust me, I've covered him for years. He's not really a jabber. He's a quick, precise, like inside power puncher. But however, you have to also factor in that Luis Ortiz was stopped brutally by Deontay Wilder. But that's because he was allowing Deontay Wilder to line him up with that right hand. But he did have problems with Prince Charles Martin too, so he seems to have some problems with some taller fighters with reach. But I'm not sure that Andy Ruiz, no matter how many jokes we say about Luis Ortiz's age, he can really box. It's impressive. If he's 43 or if he's 53, it's still impressive. But expect for him to be be a technician in this fight. 1 minute, 15 seconds left in round number 1. Nice little left hand by Luis Ortiz. Kind of nipped the nose of Andy. Nice little head movement by Luis Ortiz, dodging a two-punch combination by Andy Ruiz. So far, you know how round number 1 goes. It's a feeling out round. You know, and yes, 45 seconds left. Nice body shot, the biggest punch of the round so far for Andy Ruiz. Right hook to the body. And you know, this is how round 1 goes. You see how they just, you know, like filling each other out. So far, according to the punch stats, only 4 punches have been landed. 5 punches in the fight so far in round number 1. 4 by Andy Ruiz and 1 by Luis Ortiz. Okay, whoa! Big shot, big left hand by Luis Ortiz onto Andy Ruiz. Okay, biggest punch of the fight so far. Woke Andy Ruiz up. Definitely is going to be having some issues with that because he kind of stumbled a little bit. It went straight down the pipe, and you can tell it gave Andy Ruiz some problems because his knees kind of buckled. Let's see if we can get you a replay. I think that Luis Ortiz may have stole the round, but no, I'm still going to give that round number 1. Let me see if I can show you this shot. That one right there. And it backed him up, and he's still falling backwards.
And you can tell Andy Ruiz, you know, is
here it is. Watch this. Boom.
Yeah, right.
still used to it.
Yes, but you can see the quickness of Andy Ruiz. He landed that first jab that was thrown in that.
So I don't think that's enough to steal the round. It was the bigger punch, but this is that's one of those rounds that it's gonna go anyway. But my gut is telling me to give it to Andy Ruiz. Just that one punch, even though it was the most significant punch of the round, still Andy Ruiz did enough. Even if it wasn't a lot, he still did enough.
Luis Ortiz here with his family.
I hate when they bring their sad-ass families to the fight. It's like, why would you come, you know, to be all sad and shit, you know? Okay, straight left to the body from Luis Ortiz, coming out a little bit more aggressive in this round number 2. Oh, okay. Andy Ruiz was able to get in on Luis Ortiz. He closed the distance and was able to go to. See, Andy Ruiz likes to throw this right hook and then left hook up top. Like right hook down to the body and then a left hook up top. And that seems to be his favorite combination.
And it's not on purpose. It's by accident. It's the non-meshing of styles here. You've got both lead feet on the same side, which is not
left hook and then right hook up top. And then sometimes he'll vary it. But Ortiz's best, you know, chance is to stay on the outside. He don't want to close that. There you go. Nice jab.
Luis Ortiz's lead foot. And it looked real slow.
Nice 1-2 to the body from Luis Ortiz. Nice jab from Luis Ortiz again. So far, he's working off the jab. 1 minute into round number 2. He's pawing it out. Oh, he just got dropped. Lazy jab. Oh, that's not looking good.
That's it. He's quick.
He was flicking that jab out and it was lazy, and Andy Ruiz countered him over the top with a right hook. Dropped him. Well, that's going to change the fight right there. Now he's going to try to finish him off. Up, old man legs. He's falling on, flopping all over the place. Oh, and they counted that as a knockdown. That looked like a slip to me, but they counted that as a knockdown. Okay, another right hook. Andy Ruiz is trying to close the show. And now Luis Ortiz is trying to tie up, but this is where Andy Ruiz is the most dangerous because he pushed him off, and then he hit him with another 2-piece. Luis Ortiz's legs are not under him. Oh, big left hand from Luis Ortiz. He countered really, really well, but Andy Ruiz ate it. So what Luis Ortiz is doing wrong is he's fighting on the inside against Andy Ruiz, and it's 45 seconds left in this round, and I'm afraid he may not make it out because he's in the inside now and he's just completely given up on boxing. 30 seconds left in round number 2, and he's getting into a firefight with Andy Ruiz, and the distance is now closed. See, you know, the distance is closed. This is where he doesn't want to be. He don't want to be there. He needs to get back to boxing, and he needs to move them old-ass legs. Because, see, every time he goes to clinch, Andy pushes him off, and then he throws one of them fast combinations, and Luis Ortiz just can't keep up. They're trading some big punches right here. So let's see if we can get you a replay. Clearly, 2 knockdowns in the round. So that is the Andy Ruiz round. I have a 2-0, but you have X2 knockdowns. So now, look, that sad family is there for a reason. Let's see if we can get you a replay, because there were some big punches by both sides, even though Andy was the one that got the knockdown. You saw he paused with that lazy jab, and that's the punch that Wilder had hit him with that dropped him, like right there on the top of the head. But look, he's pawing with that lazy ass jab. Look, lazy ass. Look, Matt.
Right there, and man, right on top of the head. Now here's the second knockdown, Len. Right,
he was pawing with that lazy ass jab. Damn, they got sent to hell. Or the retirement home, Shady Grove retirement community. But watch this.
That was later on in the round when
The Shady Grove retirement community almost sent him to. All right, business is picked up. So far, Andy Ruiz is winning. He got 2 knockdowns in round number 2. Round number 1 was somewhat of a swing round, but I did give it to Andy Ruiz, so he's up 2-1. I mean, he's up 2-0, and he had 2 knockdowns in round number 2. So already, Luis Ortiz is in the hole. Now, Luis Ortiz, he needed to make sure that, he snapped that jab out. Don't leave it out there, because Andy Ruiz is waiting for the jab and then the straight left to come down. And if it's lazy, he's going to counter you. You can tell that's what he's looking for. And Luis Ortiz needs to make sure he stays. Look at this, what he hit him with. And he ate it. But one thing about Luis Ortiz is he will get dropped, but he definitely got a chin. Okay, so now Luis Ortiz is focusing on the straight to the body, one of my favorite punches. Nice jab from Andy Ruiz on Luis Ortiz, 1 minute into round number 3. So far, total punches landed 18 by Andy Ruiz and 16 by Luis Ortiz, but they're big punches. What I don't like is, Luis is trying to work off the jab, but his jabs are like slow, and he's not pulling it back. That's a problem. So far, nothing in this last 30 seconds. They're just in the middle of the ring posturing. Both of them fighting very cautious right now. You think Ruiz is headhunting? I don't think so. It looks like he has a plan. He's just waiting for what I do like. Oh, big body shot by Andy Ruiz on Luis Ortiz. And Luis Ortiz is actually focusing on the body. Mostly straights and jabs. No hooks or anything to the body. But Andy Ruiz is so fast, because if you get close to him, you got to pull back fast, because he will fire off some shit. And you can. Let's see, though, who's going to have the better gas tank, though, once we get if it goes to round 6 or on. Maybe that may be Luis Ortiz's plan, because Andy Ruiz, he doesn't really slow down. He can slow down, but he don't have stamina issues, if that makes sense. He don't like gas out. He'll slow down, but he won't gas out, if that makes sense. I'm actually going to give round number 3 to Luis Ortiz. So now we have it 2-1.
An example of Ruiz's counterpunching abilities right there in the breadbasket.
See, you can't be lazy with no punches against Andy Ruiz. Especially because once you get in there, if you land a punch on him, you're in that range for him to hit you.
In the breadbasket. Believe me.
Yeah, he said that didn't feel so good.
Lennox,
Yeah, well,
can one body shot right in the belly like that affect you greatly?
well, not me, but
You generally.
Yeah, I'm wondering who would have, if we're in round 8, who's more liable to have stamina issues? Now, of course, Andy Ruiz being the big guy, people call him fat. I just think he's big boned. And then you got Luis Ortiz, who's fucking 53 years old, listed at 43. So who would later on in the fight? Because if it goes the distance, I would have to favor Luis Ortiz. But we'll see. Y'all gave round number 3 to Andy Ruiz. I gave it to Luis Ortiz. Because he was landing like pretty much like straights to the body at will.
Listen, I mean, he's already knocked down Luis Ortiz. That's not an easy thing to do necessarily. Only a few guys have done it.
30 seconds into round number 4.
I think he started out great.
Both fighters fighting pretty cautious. You can tell that Andy's waiting for the counterpunch.
You've seen the last of the talents of Luis Ortiz. So.
Right. I think you're just
Ruiz don't get tired, but he does slow down, if that makes sense.
like a cobra. You go in, you think you're doing fine, and then bang.
Like, he don't gas out. You don't ever see him huffing and puffing in his corner or none of that shit.
Fast hands, able to snap them off at short distance. So no matter what.
But he will let off of the gas in regarding punch variety and punch output.
I think the best strategy against
Nice jab by Andy Ruiz. So far, 1 minute into round number 4. Both fighters keeping it in the middle of the ring. Luis Ortiz seems to have it. He does. I'm not going to say it seems. He has his legs back under him. Pawing out there with that jab again. You can tell he's looking for that big left hand.
But he started closing the gap on Andy Ruiz last round at the other round, and I thought that was kind of a mistake. You'd be walking into a trap with Andy Ruiz getting to close.
22 of 104 landed by Andy Ruiz. 4 body shots. 18 of 113 landed by Ortiz. 1 body shot. It doesn't make any sense. I don't trust those numbers because I'm watching him land that straight to the body. I don't trust those punch stats. I don't trust these punch stats at all.
I'm not too sure Andy got a good.
It's close.
Yeah.
But so far, nothing significant going on. They're just really trying to look. But one thing for sure is Ruiz is playing the, Luis Ortiz is playing the pressure fighter. You know, he's got Andy on the back foot, but clearly you can see that Andy is trying to get the counter punch in, trying to get Luis to commit to something. I think he'll be able to let go of one of those combinations. Oh shit, my bad. I didn't even know that was on. That's going to get me in trouble probably. Nice, another body shot from Luis Ortiz. I mean, Andy's got those 2 knockdowns in round number 2, but, there's nothing really dominating going on. Like, it's still somewhat of a fight where you can see that it can go either way, depending on how long it goes. Nobody's really standing out, if that makes sense. Luis Ortiz is feinting. Oh, big left hook by Andy Ruiz. I wonder if Luis Ortiz, you can't say that he's head hunting, but he's definitely, I'm trying to figure out like what his game plan is. He is prodding to the body, but I can't really like look and say like, okay, this is his game plan. This is what he's trying to do. Yeah, he is trying to bait him. That's definitely what he's trying to do. Let's listen in.
Move your head. Keep moving your head. And keep being nice and intelligent, the way we did it in training camp.
Nice jab.
The jab from both fighters. Ortiz from a greater distance has that reach advantage, the taller man.
Look, he springs in so quickly. I mean, he got that hook off and tapped.
Round number 5.
Before he knew it was coming.
By the way, I gave that round to Andy Ruiz. So I have it 3 rounds to 1 for Andy Ruiz, and Andy Ruiz had 2 knockdowns in round number 2. Nice straight left by Andy Ruiz in the 15 seconds into round number 5.
Right now, I got Ruiz ahead 39-35.
Larry Hazard, unofficial score, gave Luis Ortiz round number 1.
He's got quick hands, and he's moving well for a guy his size. I think he's lining Ortiz up for that right hand.
Larry, that's a 10-7 round there with the 2 knockdowns. Again, that's the official scoring on that. Again, I'm not sure if that second one should have been called that, but it was. So if you're scoring,
I don't think that second one should have been a knockdown, but hey.
the first
I mean, I'm wondering, Luis Ortiz, you know, is he trying to take Andy in the deep waters? And you know what I'm concerned about is Luis Ortiz, he's kind of lunging with that straight left to the body. And he's got caught a few times from Andy Ruiz by not pulling back fast enough. Maybe it could be age, maybe it can be his size, but he's not pulling back fast enough. See, he just did it again. He got caught. He went for the straight left, and then Andy just countered him with a hook. So I'm concerned that, you know, if he does get knocked out, it's going to be because he's going to the body and he got caught with some shit by not coming back fast enough.
But I have to admit, I think Andy Ruiz is actually putting on.
But now Andy Ruiz is starting to be the pressure fighter. And as you can see, he's got Luis backing up a little bit. Not too much, but he is backing up. That's one thing you can say, though, is that Andy Ruiz's shots are more effective on Luis Ortiz than Luis Ortiz's shots are effective on Andy Ruiz. His shots just mean more. They're harder. Nice little combination by Luis Ortiz. But one thing about when Luis Ortiz tries to use some foot movement is almost like he's about to fall over his own legs. You know, and it's not like his legs are not there. It's just that, you know, he just don't really have the foot movement. Like when he tries to evade, you know, he's in danger. Let's listen to the commentary a little bit.
Andy Ruiz, former heavyweight champion of the world, back and campaigning.
I'm going to give it to and also Andy Ruiz. Also, Andy Ruiz wins all of the exchanges, so that's another round I'm giving. I have it so far 4 rounds to 1 for Andy Ruiz. It'd be great if you can take a time out and drop a like. If we can get to about 400 likes, that'd be great. Also, I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, just talking boxing. The Fight View 360 Boxing Podcast. I'm going to be doing a podcast exclusive next week on this card. Rayo Valenzuela got his shit pushed in by Edwin de los Santos. Abner Maris and Miguel Flores fought to a draw. And Cruz put a boot in the ass of Eduardo Ramirez. And now here we are at the main event. They're not announcing Spence Crawford for this. Spence Crawford is looking like it's going to be a Showtime fight. This is a Fox fight. All right, round number 6. See, Luis Ortiz, like, you know, that widest stance, you know, I don't know. Y'all think Luis Ortiz is going to retire after this if he loses? He'll be able to still get fights, but not on his level. Can you believe that Luis Ortiz has had what? He's headlined 3 pay-per-views. Wilder 2, Charles Martin, and now Andy Ruiz. It's a 12-round fight. We're in round number 6. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. Luis Ortiz playing the pressure. See, here's the thing. Luis Ortiz, just like a lot of Cuban fighters, you know, they're like a 1-2, you know, type of like punchers. They don't, you know, some of them, you know, like they lack punch variety. Almost like how I feel Erislandy Lara lost to Canelo because of that 1-2, you know? And this is the same thing with Luis Ortiz. And he loses every exchange that he tries to have with Andy Ruiz. See, look, he just got caught again with a right hook. He throws that left to the body, and then he don't pull back fast. And Andy Ruiz it looks like he's looking forward to try to counter him. So I won't be surprised if he goes down again.
That's what I see. Setting them up, lining them up, trying to get that 1-2 in there.
And you know, Lennox, if Luis Ortiz is 27 years old, he can get on his toes, slap out that jab, snap it out, and keep him at bay and dance the night away. But he's 43.
Yeah, I'll be streaming during a Golovkin fight. We stream during every major fight. 1 minute. left in round number 6. So we're now going to the halfway point of the fight. We're halfway through the fight. And he has no punch variety. He's not doing nothing. You know, all it is jab, left hand, you know, jab, left hand to the body. Usually a lot of Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz's combinations or most successful shots come from when Luis Ortiz tries to go to the body. There he is again. He lunged. Now he's got him on the ropes. He had Andy on the ropes, but he's not doing nothing with it. 30 seconds left in the round. Let's turn it up.
Yeah, he's staying at a good distance away from him, so he's not getting any shots. But
good head movement there by Ortiz, Lennox.
Oh, absolutely.
Ortiz able to stay out. He's only had 3 punches connected on him in this whole round.
Oh, nice big left hand by Andy Ruiz. I mean, Luis Ortiz on Andy Ruiz.
We are halfway through.
Nice overhand left also. Okay, I'm going to give that round to Luis Ortiz. So now I have 4 rounds to 2.
Both guys need to up the pace to please the crowd. Both guys need to stay exactly where they are in order to win the fight. What I mean by that is both guys are being very strategical. They're thinking and they're working their way through this fight. As long as everyone's calm and patient, you'll get what you expected. It's just going to take some time.
You think that fighting this kind of fight, Andy Ruiz can get the decision, can get a win?
No, I don't think that. I think Andy's got to throw a little more to get a decision fighting like this. But both guys are waiting for their moments and their opportunities.
I have Andy Ruiz winning 4 rounds to 2. And to remember,
to pick it up a little bit, someone's going to create some opportunity.
Andy Ruiz also has 2 knockdowns in the fight. He got them both in round number 2.
Yeah, I think we're all sensing the same thing, that for Andy Ruiz, right, we're halfway through. You see the live money line odds there in this fight.
All right, round number 7.
Eventually it gets late early. You know, eventually you do run out of rounds.
Round number 7. There he is, Luis Ortiz pawing with that jab again. Now left hand straight down the pipe. He did connect. Pawing with the jab again. Andy Ruiz replies back with his own left hand. Luis Ortiz just doesn't have the punch variety or output. And he's slower than Andy. So as soon as he gets in Andy's striking distance, his punches meet. Big body shot by Andy Ruiz. His cards are fucked.
Because Ortiz is keeping Ruiz out on the end of that right jab right now. And that's not where Ruiz wants to be. It's not where he wants to be.
Larry, thank you. I think that's how we see it. You know, the last few rounds.
I mean, that's true. Andy Ruiz, and you know, this is what I said earlier about how Andy Ruiz doesn't get tired, but he does slow down. This is that time. He has slowed down the last couple of rounds. But he's not tired. It's just that his punch variety, I mean, his punch output has went down.
I give Ortiz because he's doing what he wants to do. Andy Ruiz is not doing what he normally does, and that's.
But Luis Ortiz is fighting much more patient with the jab and the straight. But you know, the punch output is so low for both of these fighters. Big left hook by Luis Ortiz on the Andy Ruiz on the inside. This is probably the first time in a combination on the inside that actually Luis Ortiz won, like off of speed, or he was faster than him. Nice jab by Luis Ortiz. 1 minute, 5 seconds left in round number 7. Now Luis Ortiz has Andy Ruiz in a corner.
But does Ruiz have the conditioning? Does he have the desire? If they clash and they throw, he'll get the better of it, but that has to happen.
See, Andy Ruiz is keeping his left hand way back towards his face, which is a smart thing.
Andy Ruiz can't get on the inside, you know, because right now Luis Ortiz is fighting very smart, keeping it on the outside, but it's not saying that he's doing anything. Oh, big body shot. He punched Luis Ortiz right in the chest. Luis Ortiz stumbled a little bit. I'm going to get you a highlight of that at the end of the round. Now Andy Ruiz has turned it up. Oh, he just dropped him again. Just dropped him again. We're going to get you a highlight. So as soon as Andy Ruiz decided to turn it up and start walking Luis Ortiz down a little bit, he was able to drop him again. So Luis Ortiz has now
Just when it looks like Andy Ruiz
Luis Ortiz has now been dropped 3 times in the fight. Now Andy Ruiz is going for the kill. Let's turn it up. He gets so lazy with those body shots, bro. So now he's in a hole. He's been dropped 3 times in the fight. Look, his kid's all crying and shit. Watch this. Bang.
And then he stepped in.
That was the first one.
That was the first right hand. And
now he's about to drop him.
He's going to do it again. The jab again. See, he used that, and then he landed a right hand there, and then boom, right there, inside.
Right, that same shot on the top of the head.
Anthony Joshua with.
It is, but the fact of the matter is he got in close. Yeah. That's what he needed to do.
You do not want him to be in close.
He needs like, what, 3 inches to throw that punch. And you're right. Joshua's equilibrium was kind of...
You do not want him to be in that close. So, we're getting to a point where now Andy Ruiz is going to need a knockout. Luis Ortiz has got some swelling over that left eye.
Round number 8, Andy Ruiz with another knockdown. You see how short, tight that right hand is, how devastating it could be.
Andy, it was a Luis Ortiz round, and Andy turned it up right at the end to get that knockdown because he was losing the round.
See, that's surprising. Ruiz, no knockouts past the 8th round. Well, he took care of Joshua earlier than that.
Yeah, Luis Ortiz got some swelling going on. Y'all think this is the end for Andy Ruiz? I mean, Luis Ortiz, if he loses? We're in round number 8 now, 30 seconds in. Luis Ortiz back to the jab again. Luis Ortiz looking for that straight left. See, and this is what he's doing. He's just like, you know, he is head hunting. You know, see, he don't want to be in those exchanges. He barely made it out of that one. He does not want to be in exchanges with Andy Ruiz. He's going to get his ass knocked down and get her knocked out. 1 minute 45 seconds left in round number 8. By the way, please take a timeout. It'd be great if you can drop a like. Trying to get to 500 likes. That helps us get up in the YouTube algorithm. 1 minute 30 seconds left in round number 8. So far, Andy, it's the same fight. Luis Ortiz. This is what he's doing. This is what he's been doing every round. You know, and he'll try to get him into the corner, and then Andy will get out, and then eventually he'll try to commit to something, and Andy Ruiz will beat him in an exchange. The towel going in soon? Nah, it ain't that bad to where, you know, the towel needs to come in. It's just that he's just been dropped 3 times. They've been flash knockdowns, but big flash knockdowns.
Hard body shot. Right hand really landed hard in the breadbasket.
That's what Lennox was talking about. Right hand to the body of Ortiz, and Ortiz countered with his left hand.
According to these punch stats, both fighters landed 50 punches.
Ortiz is 43, but he's thrown.
See, Luis Ortiz is scared to commit. You know, when he does get Andy on the ropes or in the corner, he don't want to throw anything because he knows Andy's such a big counterpuncher.
Well, in all fairness, it's easier for the longer, taller guy to touch, put his hands on the other guy. It takes a while for.
And he's lunging with his punches now, meaning Luis Ortiz. It's concerning because it's like, bro, you're gonna get fucking put down like an old ass dog. All right, that is the Andy Ruiz round again. This dude getting swept. Well, I gave him 2 rounds. It's not a sweep. But I've given rounds 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8 to Andy Ruiz. Rounds 3 and 6 to Luis Ortiz. In rounds number 2, Andy Ruiz dropped Luis Ortiz twice. And then he dropped him again in round number, what round was that, number 8? In a round where Luis Ortiz was winning. So yeah, this is it. We're going into round number 9. He's got to do something. Fucking Shane Mosley with a fucking fishnet shirt on. He got that from Oscar. Luis Ortiz ain't been a boogeyman for like 3 years, 4 years. He was a boogeyman at one point, but that was a while ago. Oh, he just got him again. Look, he got it on the inside. So he went and stepped right to, meaning Luis Ortiz, in the first 10 seconds of the round. Luis Ortiz went to step to Andy Ruiz, and he got hit with a mean three-piece combination on the inside. Luis Ortiz cannot hang on the inside with Andy Ruiz, and he needs to always keep it outside. He's got to. Another right hand down the pipe from Andy Ruiz. Luis Ortiz, now his legs are kind of going. It's looking like, because now he's in Andy's range, and Andy's starting to connect more, and we're only 1 minute into round number 9.
Well, he wants to catch him coming in. That's what I see. You know, he's waiting for that opportunity. When Andy Ruiz comes at him, he starts throwing the 1-2, 1-2.
Luis Ortiz do got power, though, but we seen that Andy Ruiz got a chin. And you know he's Mexican, so as Mexicans, we go out on our shields. Yeah, Pitbull Cruz won. Stopped Eduardo Ramirez brutally in round number 2. I'm talking about stopped him brutally.
Well, I got Ruiz ahead by 3 points, 76-73.
There's Hazard's card.
Those knockdowns really helped him here. And if he doesn't get inside, then he allows...
1 minute, 20 seconds left in round number 9. See, here's the thing. You haven't seen one punch from Luis Ortiz on the Andy that really bothered Andy. And he's ate some big shots, but whenever Andy lands a big shot on Luis, it you know, you see it, you feel it, you hear it. If Luis Ortiz was younger, would he have beat Andy? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe an undisciplined Andy, but I don't think so, because he's just too fast. Nice left hand from Luis Ortiz onto Andy. By the way, 30 seconds left in his round number 9, and kind of an even round. Abner fought Miguel Flores to a draw. But overall, Abner, put it this way, for him to have a 4-year layoff, even though the fight was a draw, he did look good. It was a 4+ year layoff. You know, it's just that what happened was the second half of the fight, a little bit before the second half of the fight, he started doing a whole lot of dancing. But one thing for sure is he better stay the fuck away from 135. It's the first knockdown. Folded him. That was the first knockdown in the fight. Here's the second one. I don't think this should have been a knockdown, but this was counted as a knockdown.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was legit. What are your thoughts, Joe? Is that a legitimate knockdown?
You know, I think it was
that shouldn't have been a knockdown.
Yeah, it was a carryover.
And here's the other knockdown. It was the 7th round where he got knocked down, so he's been knocked down 3 times in the fight. Yes, I identify as half black, half Irish, and half full-blooded Chicano Mexican male. And don't you give me no shit, because it's fucking 2022. I can do that. That's great. See Millsy Music. You're Chinese? That's what's up. I love your food. Yeah, I'm full Chicano. They call me El Negro. The black. Round number 10. Yeah, don't mess with me, man. I can get you canceled. Don't disrespect my heritage. Did I tell you the story about a month ago? I almost identified as being Puerto Rican, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna save that for later on, and if I get into some shit, then I'm gonna be like, I'm Puerto Rican too.
Yeah, it's tough because, you know, sometimes when you're a heavyweight, you know, when you train hard, look, Andy Ruiz trained hard. He had a new trainer. They did all sorts.
But seriously, though, I am Chicano.
He was working hard. Maybe he ate a little bit more. Okay.
Yeah, this is an Andy Ruiz fight.
Whatever weight he fights at, he's a dangerous dude.
Yes, I'm more than the average man. 1 minute 30 seconds left in round number 10. So far, Luis Ortiz is a little bit more aggressive, I guess. Like he's got a little bit more bounce in his step. It's like, you know, just a little bit more. You see what I'm saying? Like he's showing some head movements and feints. Like it's almost like somebody told him in the corner, like, all right, you got to pick this shit up, because he is pressuring, but he's just slow. Yes, I can, yo. Don't you tell me, man. Just leave it alone. Let's just drop the subject, okay? I knew people were going to get offended. Let's just drop it. I don't want to offend anybody's pronouns. You know what I want to be? What pronoun is it when you just identify as nothing? Like you just nothing. You don't like nobody. You just ain't nothing. I want to be that pronoun. Which one is that? It's like I'm just like, I ain't nothing. That's what I'm going to be.
It's not easy to box a southpaw, especially, you know, of this caliber.
Like I just don't like nobody.
This is like arguably one of the best or the best southpaw heavyweight.
Andy Ruiz is definitely winning, but this round number 10 has been a Luis Ortiz round. He's gotten a lot more aggressive, but he has no punch variety. You know, he's only throwing a variation of about 4 punches. No uppercuts, no nothing. No hooks to the bodies, no nothing. No hooks upstairs for real. And every time he tries to trade with a hooker, you know, he ends up losing and getting his ass dropped. Literally, every time he got dropped, he was inside trying to trade with Andy Ruiz.
That's it. That's all you have to do. Are you hearing me? This is 11.
Let's turn it up. Round number 11.
We need more. When he's like that,
Asexual, you sure that's what that means? That don't mean that. I don't like the way that sound. I just don't want to be nothing. I don't want to identify as nothing. I just want to be like, just leave me the fuck alone. You know, I just don't. I'm just nothing. Like it's just gonna be just in my profile. It's just gonna be, what is it? 2 parentheses, and it's gonna be empty in the middle. It's just nothing there. Just put a blank ass line. You can't. Can you identify as being invisible? The Caldera Family Show. You ain't Mexican, point blank, period. Who the hell do you think you are? Talking about some, I'm not Mexican? You not Mexican. Don't you? Yo. Y'all got some nerve. Anyway, round number 11. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the round. Andrew, big overhand right by Andy Ruiz. Left. Yeah, please take your time out. Like the video, subscribe. See, what it is now Luis Ortiz needs a knockout because he's been dropped 3 times. 2 in round number 2 and 1 in round number 7.
Yeah, Luis Ortiz's left eye is swollen. It's closing. Andy Ruiz's right eye and left eye.
Like nothing's going on. The fight has slowed to a pace. And according to these punch stats, look at these punch stats. Andy Ruiz landed 61 punches and Luis Ortiz 60. Ew.
As was pointed out, a few headbutts to boot. But that's inevitable with southpaw.
Thanks for the super chat, Angel. This fight is a little bit boring. Ortiz, once again, got rocked. 1 minute, 20 seconds left in round number 11. You sure it's non-binary? I just don't want to be nothing. I don't want to be nothing. Okay, now Andy's picking it up now. Luis Ortiz is a little stationary, swelling over that eye.
How dare you?
Thanks for the super chat, bro. Yeah, I don't like nobody. I don't want nobody to like me. Just leave me alone. Asexual mean you don't have sex with it. No, I love sex with women. No, I'm not that. I just don't want. I want to have sex with women, but I just don't want to be nothing. I want to identify as nothing. Which one is that? Lord, don't take away the sex. I'll be finished. Andy Ruiz round number 11. All right, this shit's getting a little bit boring now because Luis Ortiz is just nothing. He don't got nothing. He don't got no like where's the Cuban school? You know, where's all the tricks? He don't got nothing. He don't got nothing. Man. We're going into round number 12. Might as well say Andy Ruiz won.
Let's see this replay here. This is probably earlier from the round. There's just a lead right hand. He kind of feinted.
Look, fucked him up with that shot. Look at his face. Look at Uncle Junior face.
Especially after that right
Uncle Junior like, what the fuck was that? Look how he looking. Like, bro, look how he looking at him. Like, oh shit, what the fuck was that? Look at his face. He looks like disturbed. Look at his face. And his eyelid almost came off, it looked like. Frederick says, I am half and half. My mother and what the hell does that even mean? My mother was a woman and my father was a man. Oh, that's what's up. Me too. Me too. We're the same, you and I. We're like brothers.
12th and final round. Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz. And to use your adjective.
Wait, did you say you're her? Wait a minute. I don't know if I agree with that. Okay, so Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz is trying to turn it up. He stepped up the pressure in this last round. Oh, yes. Somebody's about to get knocked out. They're turning it up. Luis Ortiz is going out on his shield. He's going out on his shield. He's going out on his shield, guys. I like it. Luis Ortiz has come out this 12th round very, very aggressive. You've seen 3 different exchanges so far in the first 45 seconds of this round between Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz. But if you're going to get knocked out, then go for it now because this is going to be his last pay-per-view, Luis Ortiz, if he loses. Do you think Andy Ruiz can beat Deontay Wilder? I'm interested to see how that fight goes. Rod Brown, this guy's a moron. Okay. Thank you for your support, brother. You guys need to lighten the fuck up. God, go get some pussy. Learn how to take a joke. Jesus. Lighten the hell up.
That's what Ortiz has found. But again, he's going to have to do something big here to pull this out.
And he's got a minute 20 to do it.
Minute 20 seconds left. Luis Ortiz is trying to turn up on Andy Ruiz, but he almost got his ass caught. Don't get it twisted. Andy Ruiz's face is marked up, but Andy Ruiz hasn't been hit with anything by Luis Ortiz that make me feel like, oh, you know. Andy Ruiz's punches has meant so much more on Luis Ortiz than the other way around. But of course, Luis Ortiz has been dropped 3 times. But he's hitting Andy with some big shots. It's just that they're not doing nothing to him. 20 seconds left. Big left hand. Luis Ortiz is trying to stop him. 15 seconds left. Now they tie up. That's it. Well. I think that's it. I think that's it for Luis Ortiz. I think the sun is going to go down on my man. So I'm interested to see these scorecards. Now, let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to listen to the cards, watch some brief highlights, talk about the fight, talk about what's next. And it's looking like if Deontay Wilder defeats Robert Helenius on October the 15th, also on PBC on Fox pay-per-view, we're going to see Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz likely maybe Cinco de Mayo next year. Look at his sad-ass family, Luis Ortiz. I mean, at least he didn't get knocked out, because I remember he got knocked out in front of his daughter by Deontay Wilder and his girl, and he was down there fucked up. But, you know, I don't think Luis Ortiz should retire unless he don't want to, unless he's like, you know what, I only want to fight on big, on you know, like big stages. But Andy Ruiz clearly won this fight. 2 knockdowns in round number 2. One of them shouldn't have been a knockdown, in my opinion, the second one. And then he was knocked down again in round number 7. And what you saw was every time that Luis Ortiz tried to engage with Andy Ruiz is when his ass lost. I mean, is when his ass got, like, really bust. So the lack of punch variety and punch output from Luis Ortiz, along with the age and lack of speed, because he's listed at 43 years old. But the motherfucker like 53 for real. But nonetheless, still great skill. That's the first knockdown, right on the top of the head. Look, folded him real bad. And then this is the second one, and I don't think this should have been a knockdown, in my personal opinion. You guys let me know. It was almost like his legs kind of gave out because they still wasn't under him from the first time he got knocked down. And then, look, they are in that's despair. And he almost took Andy Ruiz's head off multiple times. Look, watch this. Bang. I mean, it was a tense fight. Replay value is really, really low. Here was that third knockdown. Watch this. No, this was the story of the fight. Every time he would try to get in on the inside against Andy, you know, things would go not well for him. And, you know, I mean, can you say that Luis Ortiz is done on top level? I think it's safe to say he's done on top level. You know, he's done on top level. This guy's had 3 pay-per-views, one of them against Charles Martin, who fought earlier in the night in a dark-ass arena to open up a YouTube stream. Let's listen to the cards. Take your time out. Like the video, subscribe. Please drop a like. Let's try to get to 500. Not doing this for our health. Let's go listen in.
We go to the scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Fernando Villarreal scores the bout 113 to 112. Judges Eddie Hernandez Sr. and Zachary Young both scored the bout 114 to 111. All 3 in favor of the
winner close for
of the
me.
WBC Heavyweight World Title Eliminator, the Destroyer, Andy Ruiz.
Scorecards were telling, though, fellas, in that Ortiz won a bunch of rounds and made that close. Those are 3 knockdowns, 3 points.
Y'all think
Ruiz wins by
Luis Ortiz gonna give us the speech?
Yeah. Sounds like decent scoring. Ortiz certainly did some work.
Look at these nasty punch stats.
The harder shots were landed by Ruiz, but
78 of 428 thrown, 76 for Luis Ortiz, 76 of 287.
I'd like to hear Larry Hazard's actual final scorecard, but go ahead, right there.
Nasty stats. Yeah, I think it's time for him to hang him up, guys.
111 Ruiz.
Okay. So gave your share of rounds to Luis Ortiz. But
Yeah, Charles Martin won earlier.
And I'm taking it back. I'm not calling it a disputed knockdown. That second knockdown was a knockdown.
Let's listen in. Damn, Uncle Junior's finished. Let's listen in.
With Luis Ortiz. Go ahead, Ray.
Thank you very much, Brian, alongside Luis King Kong Ortiz. Luis, can you tell us your ability to remain in the fight despite being knocked down several times by Andy Ruiz?
Bueno, yo dije que venía a guerrear y esto fue una gran guerra, sí. Cuba-México, estuvo buena la guerra, me gustó.
I told you I was going to be a warrior. I love this. This is Cuba-Mexico. This is a war.
How would you assess your performance? It was a close fight on the scorecards, but how would you assess your overall outing here tonight?
Nada, vine a hacer trabajo, ¿sabes? Todo, como dice, el boxeo está lleno de sorpresas. No se logró hacer el trabajo que al máximo, pero bueno, a toda la gente que dicen que King Kong está viejo, yo doy guerra, yo estoy dando una guerra y bueno, estuve ahí.
For everybody that said that King Kong is old, well, I gave you a war today. So boxing, there's always a surprise, but I felt I did a great fight tonight.
Did your left eye give you any issues in regards to your vision in the fight?
Bueno, estuve trabajando mi mano adelante y pienso que estuvo bien. Me gustaría una revancha porque esa guerra me gusta.
I love those. I would want a rematch. I was keeping my hands up, but the eye wasn't a problem.
Being able to compete and go head-to-head against Andy Ruiz at this level, do you still want to continue in your prize fighting career?
Bueno, ¿qué tú crees? Si lo que viste hoy, ¿tú crees que yo no doy guerra, que yo estoy listo para terminar? ¿Qué tú opinas?
What do you do? The question is, you think I'm done? I mean, you saw a warrior tonight.
¿Qué opina la gente?
What do the people want? Do they think King Kong is done?
I think we'd love to
I
see
think
you
you're done,
back,
motherfucker.
Ruiz. Congratulations on a valiant effort. Heidi, on to you.
Thank you very much, Rayo. You can't question the heart of Luis Ortiz. Congratulations, though, to you, Andy Ruiz. Let's start with the second round. You knocked him down twice. What was going through your mind? You know you can't count a guy like Luis Ortiz out.
Yes, free King Vasquez.
I want to thank God because without him, nothing's possible.
Gotta thank Al Heyman.
Man, since the jump, I thought everybody thought they were doubting me that I was going to get my ass knocked out and whatnot. But to tell you the truth, I worked so hard for this fight because I know he's a warrior. He hits hard, and I thought I did a beautiful job boxing him around, and I thought I showed some different class that I usually do instead of just
Thanks for the super chat, Yo-Yo.
going forward.
Most definitely. I was going to actually ask you, was it difficult? How difficult was it to force the action, given that he was the first southpaw you faced as a professional?
It was pretty difficult, man, but the ability that I have of me counter-punching and waiting for him to load up and me counter him and connecting and dropping him, it was a blessing, man. I just want to thank God so much.
Well, congratulations to you. You've said throughout this campaign for this fight, you said you have to stay disciplined, stay focused, and stay active. What does staying active mean to you, given the landscape of this heavyweight division?
Staying active, man. I do not want to be waiting so long
until
I fight. I want to fight at least 3-4 times a year. I'm ready, man. I'm hungry. I want to be champion again and bring that belt back to Mexico.
We have a fight. Deontay Wilder returns to take on Robert Helenius in New York on October 15th. Should he become victorious on that night? Is that the fight you want next?
You know what?
The winner of that fight.
God willing, he wins. Robert in October, and you know, me and him are in the same organization. I want to thank Al Heyman. He can make this fight happen, and let's do it. Let's get it on.
Congratulations to you, Andy. Brian, back to you.
Well, that'd be a fascinating clash, no question. And look, just to back it up, I know it was nearly 3 years ago. So you look at Deontay Wilder here ringside. But again,
why y'all bullying me in the chat? That ain't cool, man. I'm sensitive. I'm a human being.
Wilder, nearly 3 years ago, before Deontay Wilder knocked him out with one shot.
So let's talk.
So again, if you're thinking, well,
if I was to rate that Andy Ruiz performance, I'm going to give him a 7. Oh, they got Deontay Wilder in the ring. I'm going to give it a 7. Well, let's see what Deontay Wilder has to say.
All right.
I bet you it's going to be some long-ass speech.
Bronze Bomber made his way into the ring. I have a feeling you have something to say to Mr. Ruiz.
I mean, it was a great fight. It was a hell of a fight, and this is where all the fans came to see a magnificent fight, and that is exactly what these guys gave you, a great fight. So that right there deserved all the respect. And, you know, the gameplay, I always have love for Ortiz because we shared the ring and what we're doing for our daughters and the situation that we was in. You know, I always have love for him. And he came with a game plan, and it seemed like he executed the game plan. And much love to him, and, you know, we wish nothing but the best for him moving forward.
Is that the fight you would want next should you be victorious on October 15th?
I mean, Deontay Wilder's back. You know, he always looking for great, exciting fights. That's what he loved to give the fans. So if that's what lined up next, I got to handle the business. Out of that, man, we can get it on.
We'll be looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Deontay. Brian, back to you.
How do you think that fight goes? Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz. And I do think Wilder has a chin, because he has taken some beatings, even though he did get stopped, by Fury, in the first fight. In the second fight, his team stopped it. Rumors of egg weight shape form, allegations of egg weight shape form, and spiked water. But that power is no myth. And I think he can put down Andy. Do I think he can beat Andy? I don't know, because what's going to happen if Andy crowds his space? Can Deontay Wilder keep Andy off of him if Andy decides to play the pressure fighter? I don't know. But LD says Andy performance a B+. A B+, I can't. I'm like a B. I'm about a B. I'm at about a B on a plus minus scale. Not a B minus, not a B plus, because that's close to an A. But for me personally, I'm going to give him a B. He did get 3 knockdowns. Let me give him a B. But now let's talk about the heavyweight division. If you don't know, where does Luis Ortiz go? You think he's done? I don't think he's going to retire, because he was talking about rematches and shit. I don't think he's going to retire. But he's damn sure done at like this type of top level. Looking at the rankings here, Tyson Fury, hopefully him and Alexander Usyk are going to fight. It's looking like they're in some talks. Him and Alexander Usyk for undisputed. Deontay Wilder's taking on Robert Helenius next month, October the 15th. Michael Hunter and Hughie Fury are fighting. Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker are fighting to be the WBO mandatory. That's going to happen on September the 24th. We're going to be streaming during that. We're going to be streaming. Look, folded him, put him down. Ooh, big body shot. That hurt. Looked like that hurt. Anthony Joshua may fight Felix Hergovitz or Zhilei Zhang next. Anthony Joshua lost to Alexander Usyk, had that meltdown in the ring. You can listen to me and my colleagues' thoughts on that on our Fight View 360 boxing podcast. The link is right there in the chat. And as we're looking at the rankings here, by the way, the Wilder Helenius card on October the 15th is looking like it's going to be, well, it was pretty much announced that it's going to be Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius, Caleb Plant versus Anthony Dirrell, and Frank Sanchez versus Carlos Negron, who that was announced basically, by Joe Goosen, who's training Frank Sanchez. And we're waiting for the 4th fight for the card. It's going to be $74.99 again on PBC on Fox pay-per-view. So you got Dylan White, who's flirting with signing with Sky Sports over in the UK. Also, Joshua's option, he can possibly fight Otto Wallin. And that's the heavyweight division. Gerald Miller is likely going to be fighting Lucas Brown if he wins his next fight. But Andy Ruiz, I'm not ready to say Andy Ruiz beats Deontay Wilder. I'm not ready to say that. But I do think that Luis Ortiz is done on top level. For example, do you feel that Luis Ortiz can be a world champion? That ship has sailed, right? It's gone. So who does Luis Ortiz fight in the top? Okay, so, Luis Ortiz, if he's going to stick around for a couple of years, who is he going to fight that you're going to be like, for example, would you entertain Luis Ortiz versus Frank Sanchez? I don't know. Luis Ortiz versus if he's done with PBC, after this, there's fights for him. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know. Yes, Gerald Big Baby Miller is ranked by the fucking WBA. That fight he fought a few months ago, that was on a WBA card. That's why I feel, OJ, that he's going to fight the Chinaman in China. I believe he's going to fight Otto Wallin possibly next, and then do the big fight with Zhilei Zhang, meaning Anthony Joshua in China. That's what I think is going to be next. You know, or they may go to China next. Who knows? But I don't know about Luis Ortiz. I think he cooked. I think he cooked because I'm looking. Frank Sanchez will beat him. I'll probably fuck around and beat him. You know, because like the way he looked in there tonight, I can't say that he looked older, but he looked really, really limited. You know, and at his age, whatever the hell his age is, as I said, he's listed on BoxRec as 43. But, you know, word on the street is he can be as high as fucking 53 years old. Some shit like that. But still very impressive. He ain't fighting no Gerald Anderson. And I don't think that he's going to, you think he's going to be a gatekeeper? I don't know. I don't know, guys. But overall, I did enjoy this card. We got a post-fight press conference coming up later on. It'd be great if you guys can drop a like before you go so we can try to get to 700. We just got over a shadow ban about like 4 or 5 months ago. So our videos are finally starting to get promoted again by YouTube. But overall, I did like this card. You had the card open up with Rayo Valenzuela getting beat up by Edwin Santos. You had Miguel Flores and Abner Maris battle to a draw. A lot of people thought that Miguel Flores won the fight. Abner Maris coming off of a 4+ year layoff. And he did a whole lot of moving. Then you had Cruz put a boot in Eduardo Ramirez's ass. And then you had Prince Charles Martin open up a YouTube stream. The very first fight on the card, not pay-per-view, not on FS1 and not on Fox. So here's how it worked tonight. They had a YouTube stream for an hour, 6 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern, they had they were on FS1 with Raíz Salim versus Mike Planea. At 8 p.m. Eastern, they had Joey Spencer on regular free TV Fox. Joey Spencer taking on Kevin Sagado, and then the pay-per-view started at 9. But they put Charles Martin on the free YouTube like version, bro. And he just fought on pay-per-view January the 1st. So it's like, who did you piss off to go from being on pay-per-view to fighting in the empty arena on YouTube? Wild. So listen, guys, I got to get up out of Venezuela. I know I keep saying that, my bad. Valenzuela. I know, my bad. I know how to say, listen, I'm tired. I'm sorry. I keep Venezuela. I'm sorry. Valenzuela. All right, we got it. My bad, but I'm exhausted. For real. And we got a post-fight press conference that we got to cover. But my website, FightView360.com, our rankings are updated monthly in accordance to the sanctioning bodies. Boom. Another thing, you know, hopefully they'll possibly do, you know, which I don't think they're going to do it. Basically, if Deontay Wilder beats Robert Helenius and Andy Ruiz and Wilder fight sometime in April and May of 2023, then listen, the winner of that got to fight Joshua, right? Don't you think that makes sense? Because it'll be a third fight for Andy Ruiz and Joshua, and it'll be the first fight for Joshua Wilder. But personally, I think it's time for them to make Joshua Wilder. Me personally. You know, like, why fuck up all that money? Here is the pay-per-view, the next one, $74.99. Robert Helenius is a longtime sparring partner of Deontay Wilder. I hate when fighters fight their fucking sparring partners. It's just off-putting to me. So listen, Boxing Nerd super chat. Boxing Nerd says, Andy couldn't get around the jab tonight. Wilder could jab his face off to a UD or late KO if he doesn't let Andy in on the inside. That is true. But remember what Tyson Fury said leading up to the Deontay Wilder fight. Deontay Wilder will do all that boxing shit, you know, and he can jab. We first saw it really with the first Bermain-Stavern fight. But Wilder can jab. Yes, he can. Remember, even in the third Fury fight, he was jabbing the shit out of Fury, especially to the stomach. But I keep saying Venezuela. Valenzuela. There you go. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Get off my back, man. Oh, here it is right here. Here it is right here. Like, fucked him up. But eventually, Wilder reverts back to his old self. You see what I'm saying? He reverts back to his old self. That's the problem I have with Deontay Wilder. He can jab you, but then he just, the windmill. But if Deontay Wilder, he's not good on the inside. So if Andy Ruiz is able to cut that distance, and another thing about Deontay Wilder is he has to load up that bomb, that right hand he has. If you take that away from him, and not let him load up or paw with that jab like he does to line you up and straight down the pipe, then you have a good chance. But I really feel that Andy Ruiz may bite the dust. And I'm not confident that he can beat Andy Ruiz, but I'm thinking that, he might be able to, like hit him with some shit. But listen, guys, let me get up out of here because I got to take a break or take my dog out, and we got to do the post-fight press conference.